Okay, guys, we are live. So, for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master today. Today, we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign playing Paizo Publishing's very cool Starfinder science fantasy role playing game. And with me today for this very special Halloween themed session are the stars of our Starfinder campaign. I'll go the order I got you guys on the screen here. Why don't you tell us who you are, who you're playing, and what your character's dressing up as for Halloween. So first up is Brent.
Hey, I am playing Tom Dakin. He is a android technomancer who is also a xenoarchaeologist. So he's very happy to be in a lost ship. For
Tomb Robber.
For Halloween, he will be dressing up as a human.
Nice. And next up is Ingolf.
Yeah, so I'm Ingolf. I'm playing Vuldan, who's a Vesk soldier. Yeah, Vesk are this really large lizard man, and he's very fond of his hammer, and he's also commanding the ship. And I think for Halloween, I will dress up as an Izoki, because that's kind of a
Nice. And next up is Thomas.
Hello, I'm Thomas. I'm playing Zakros. He's a human mystic, a priest of Pharasma, Lady of Graves, and he will dress up as Tom, the android.
Nice. And last but not least is Mo.
Hi, I'm playing Cat, who's a drow, which is a dark elf. He is an operative, and he's basically the other mechanic stroke techie on the crew. For Halloween, what would he dress up as?
I guess around your parts it's fancy dress.
Yeah, it would be probably an elf.
An elf, nice. He's going, what, I guess, like, pale face?
Well, presumably, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
reminds me that we are playing now.
Yeah, me too.
I need to change that reminder. I will do that after. Good God. Okay, so then where we left our heroes last time, we are in currently an arc of the campaign that we're calling Fistful of Shobhads. This is a flashback sequence where we are visiting the heroes on a mission that they had done for this mysterious android patron named Sedona back a few years before the current time in the campaign. They've had an eventful stay on Akiton so far. Who wants to do to bring us up to speed as to where we are right now? Brent, you've been absent and you just finished watching the last episode, so why don't you tell us?
My character has been missing in action for the last session. He is presumably somewhere within the bowels of the ship.
Well, let's back up. You're presuming some stuff that folks may not know about. So, the heroes went to Akiton to try and track down basically to a contact of Sedona's and then extract her safely. Things got more complicated when they arrived in Akiton and realized that that she was being held hostage by one of two rival gang members that had taken over the town. Or gangs that had taken over the town where she lived, and B, that she's actually the daughter of one of the gang bosses. After some investigation, our heroes realized that there was that she actually wasn't being held by the gangster that she was thought to be staying with, this guy named Boss Okashog, and that she had perhaps been taken by a bunch of vicious kind of like space desert Mongols or bandits, the Shobhads. So our heroes decided that enough was enough. They broke their way out in a thrilling chase from Okashog's base, made their way into the deserts of Akiton, the desert planet. But in the course of doing so, they did damage their vehicle a bit. And knowing that they may have to, that another thrilling chase may be a check in the mail if they're going to escape from the Shobhads, they decided to effect some repairs to their ship, or to the clunker of a hover truck that they're using. And went looking around in basically a space scrapyard to try and find something there. Tom, the android, actually stumbled across this particular vessel, which is a Verthian vessel from before the Gap. So it's from the species that has for thousands and thousands of years interfaced their bodies with technology through cybernetics, which yeah, I mean, it has well before the period where all the universe forgot knowledge or forgot their past. But unfortunately, in the course of exploring this thing, Tom the android took a tumble down a shaft. He's effectively Timmy from Lassie TV shows. And not wanting to go on without their brave android, who, incidentally, this is the second time he's either been knocked out or kidnapped, too. So I think you are becoming like the Robin the Boy hostage of the group, right? So our heroes braved the depths of this vessel, which proved to be a lot larger, I think, than what they had initially anticipated. Now, guys, Brent, I'll feed it over to you to talk about what happened last session.
All right, so last session, I am still missing, or my character is, and the rest of the group had tried to search through and find me. They had found a supply of loot, which they left to come back later. Were attacked by tentacled, hovering robotic creatures. Found more loot, and then were forced to overcome their most tough challenge. It was like a pit from where the starship was sloped and some decks were collapsed, so they had to get across it, which proved particularly challenging. And once across, they heard those the tentacled creatures again, and then the hallway behind them collapsed, and they're forced to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
We have to do a lot of digging to get to that medical supplies now.
You do. Okay, and that's sort of where the last thing that happened, I think, was after you guys had disabled that. Kat had noticed and disabled a kind of a kludge together. What do you call it? Turret, and then also some loot. Unfortunately, where you guys had come from, it collapsed. The walls or the ceiling collapsed in on itself. And you heard, I believe you heard some sinister laughter. That does sound like something I would do. So you've been hearing some strange voice communicate with you as well, too. Do you remember the writing that you guys found on the wall as well?
Yeah, it was the Abbey of Shadows. And I think someone actually did remember that is related to the Plane of Shadows.
Abbey of Nevers.
Abbey of Nevers, sorry. And that is something related to the Plane of Shadows and something called a Velstrak.
Yes.
Who lived there. And also, we seem to be fatigued. Did we get hit by anything?
Oh, yeah. You got hit by a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys...
because I was just... Yeah, so I think we actually got banged by something, so we're not running exactly on all cylinders.
Oh, you got a crit. You had a crit on you that fatigued you. So I think that's just that might just be Kat. I know Kat got kind of an ass kicking last time.
Yeah.
So, okay, then that is where we currently find ourselves. Give me a sec here. I want to see something. Okay.
I think we want to... hang on. No, we did that. Everybody has enough stamina. Alright. I think Zakros takes the Serum of Healing. Alright.
Okay.
Wait, I click this here.
So let's, one sec here. I'm just going to check something.
Sorry, I clicked twice.
Oh, that's okay.
Obviously, I healed 1 hit point. Oh man.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys all start with a Nova point as well. But let's maybe open up with our brave punching bag / android / archaeologist.
Oh,
So, and someone's thrown bullets away.
yeah.
Every time you guys accidentally click on that stuff, that's what I picture. Is that you guys are just throwing shit. Get
It's
out of
a
here.
breadcrumb trail to get back out. We're just
Exactly.
hoping not to encounter a firefight.
I won't need these bullets at all. Did you guys
Yeah,
find
it's
some?
a
I can't remember. Did you find some ammunition as well?
No, I don't remember that.
We
but-
picked up effectively an improvised laser pistol.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
think
a
I
super
have.
cool.
Ah, yeah, and the lens. What is it? The lens pistol or something?
Yeah, cylindrical.
Yeah.
Yeah, the stats are equal to that that kind of oversized, hand cannon pistol from the armory.
Yeah,
found
we
it,
have to
yeah.
switch that. We might have to. Yeah, it's not on my sheet, so we might have to just roll it in the room.
Okay. All right. Okay, so guys, then where we open is. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the stats I used last time there, Brent. I want to make sure I kill you, but not kill and humiliate you.
Wait a minute. We got new Nova points probably. So
You're starting with 1. You always start the session with 1.
Yeah.
So yes, yeah. Okay. All right. So then the what do you call it? The scene opens with Tom. You got a sidekick there, or
No, I just heard a sidekick showing up, but I think she's just playing in the background.
okay?
So,
So watch your language. The what do you call it? The scene opens with, you can hear this sort of this kind of like humming sound, and you can feel pain from everywhere.
that's not good. Can I see anything?
Yeah, the sensation that sort of, as that sensation kind of comes back to you, you realize that you are being like born somewhere. Something has got its has wrapped around your waist and is dragging you along somewhere. So you are being held aloft by something. The whirring, you can, you open up and you kind of look, and what is carrying you along, Brent, is, well, not you, Brent, but Tom the android. That would be some fun meta commentary. It's carrying you away, Brent. What is this saying? All right, so here we go. This is what is carrying you along.
That looks less than pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Are my
No, hold on. I need you to here. You're not in the scene with the same guys, but just for the sake of ease, I'm gonna move your token back up to the layer here because I need you to roll initiative. You just woke up. You have no stamina right now. You have full hit points.
Okay.
But I need you, boom, to click on your token and then roll initiative, please, because this thing is gonna act quite aggressively when it realizes that you are awake.
all right.
Nice. Okay. So let me get me old initiative tracker here. All right, and where are we here? Oh, for fuck's sake. That turn. Here, that seems a little more dire than I intend. Let's do this one. So,
like a lullaby now.
yeah. Okay. And I rolled. Okay. So, Tom the android, you are awake. This thing is carrying you along. Those, like, mechanical, kind of like pokey things in the front there are kind of like shifting, and the headpiece kind of turns down. You look up at it, and you don't need to roll any kind of like insight to realize that this thing does not mean, it does not have your best interests at heart. So you can feel the tentacles are beginning to tighten. What are you doing?
Does it? So it looked and realizes I'm awake.
It realizes you're awake and it's about to do something, which is why we rolled initiative.
All right, I will How does spells work like grappled? Is that? I'm guessing that would be the.
I don't think you can. I think you're distracted then. Let's see here.
Yeah. Because I'm assuming this would count as a grapple, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Magic and spells. Let's see here. Like I know if you take damage, it interrupts it. So like full round things like summoning, unfortunately, would be kind of out if this thing does damage to you. Oh, it also provokes an attack of opportunity.
All right. So...
Yeah. So that I think that settles it right there. Is just it. So it will attract an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Can I get at my pistol?
Yep.
Okay. Well, since I won't be needing my move action, I will pull out my pistol.
To escape the grapple, Brent, I think it's either a athletics or acrobatics check, which I'm sure you're awesome at on both counts.
I have a choice of +0 with athletics or a +1 with acrobatics.
Okay.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As those are, my relative strong suits, I think I will just shoot my way free.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an attack roll, please. I'm going to give you a -2 because you are grappled.
All right.
Yeah. Let's see how this goes.
Okay.
Nice. Okay. Bam. So this hits this thing, and it, bits of. I just barely hit it too. God. There's a glancing shot. Some of the ceramic or whatever that makes up or plastic that makes up the casing is blown away, and it exposes some of the mechanics inside. Who has the highest perception check, which I know is not Voldan, between Thomas and Mo?
I have 9.
I'm 10.
Oh, okay.
10. Okay. So I think you guys are finishing, working on, taking stock of things. Thomas, or Zachros, you're applying that stim to try and get yourself back up and going. Voldan, you're poking at the rubble that's filling now the hallway to see if there's any way to shift the stuff. Poking at it with your hammer, and I think Voldan turns to Kat and says, "I can make sound now." Bang! And then what you hear echoing from the corridor ahead of you guys, you can hear the sound of a single gunshot. That kind of echoes from somewhere down in there. And I don't think you've seen any of these things use kinetic weapons, like chemically driven kinetic weapons. Maybe it's Tom. So, Tom, the android, let's... This thing is just going to constrict you. So it's tensing up, and you're feeling the pain of the existing wounds. Like you've really banged yourself up quite badly, and you take another 5 points of damage as this thing is pulling you in even tighter with those robotic limbs.
And it's okay. All right, and I'm down to hit points. You were saying I did not.
That's right. Yeah.
Let me just adjust everything.
Okay. So you're right here, Brent. Boom.
Oh, yeah. I got my hit points. I just need to.
Perfect. Okay.
Move over.
Your fatigue points are showing as 0, or stamina points showing as 0 already, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay. So then what it's doing is it's going to drag you along too. Like you're still floating. Wait, no, you got dark vision, so you can see. You're about maybe 10 feet above the ground.
Okay. Can I activate my comms as a free action?
No.
Okay.
No, you would need a hand to do that. So, but it is your turn now. What do you want to do?
Can I get? I guess as I'll activate my comms, or rather get Alice to activate my comms, because then I can just do it as voice and focus on shooting at this thing.
Guys, interacting with an object, that tracks an attack of opportunity, right? Manipulate an item?
But I think this is a voice activated, right? Because I got the AI.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah, I buy that. Okay, so yeah, Alice,
Open the comms.
She appears in your vision, but it's as if she's being like a poor connection, like a TV half tuned to a channel, and she's talking to you. And shorts out.
Well,
What are your actions?
I will take a shot at this thing again.
Okay, go ahead. Ooh. That one goes wild.
Okay.
So, let's get back to the rest of the group. We're not going to drop you guys into initiative necessarily here, but we're and we're not going to track your movement through the map necessarily because this is a sprawling, huge thing. But what do you guys want to do? What happens with you guys? You've heard that. You just heard a second shot.
Well, I'm going to open the comms and key. I assume we had we had a general channel we were using, so I'll just key the mic and say, "Tom, is that you?"
Okay.
And I'll try and like point direct where the sound came from.
Sure. So as soon as you open up the comms again, you start hearing that same voice from before, speaking in a language that none of you guys understand. But the one word you do understand. Whoopsies. Where is it here? Is Velstrax sollen der Waffel hält out and Velstrax. And that's filling the, kind of your comm as soon as you open it up.
Okay.
What about Zakros and Voldan? What's happening with you guys?
Zakros, you had the higher perception, so you should go first.
Zakros feels really uncomfortable because he has to deal with something he is helpless against. He's a bit in a panic, because if it has a soul, he can fight it. But this doesn't have, and he feels really helpless. But he says, "Guys, did you hear that? Did you hear that shooting there? Let's have a look." And he's whispering, "Zips up, just to overplay his fear.
His patron saint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing idea, yeah.
Yeah. You got a little sticker that you got on your armor of Zips Up. The amazing Zips Up. Come on, Zips Up. For those listening at home, Zips Up is a very interplanetary famous slow motion close up magician who happens to also look like a giant turtle. So, what about Voldan? So Zakros seems quite, stunned. Cat has access to comm, trying to get a hold of Tom, and all he's hearing is this crazy feedback, or it honestly sounds, I think, because Zakros, you've got training in mysticism, it sounds like a prayer of some kind. So definitely not to a deity of light, but something like that.
Yeah. I'd say that so Voldan switches his hammer for his laser rifle and looks at the ceiling and shouts, "Tom!" So we had our helms open, so
Sure.
I think we can
Tom! Sure. Okay, so then, Tom the android, would you kindly give me a perception check, please?
All right.
Or you can have your helper do that.
Here, I might get her to roll my next shooting roll here.
I will say for those, Brent and I have been playing games together since about grade 2, and Brent has had arguably the worst luck in rolling, so it does fit that he's pressing his kids into making the dice rolls for him.
I'll take anyone else's roll.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay, so you hear this, Tom, you can hear somewhere off in the darkness, you can hear the roar of your captain.
Awesome. Help! Help!
Okay. And then this thing constricts again. You take 7 points of damage now.
It's okay, I still get another 6 left.
Yeah, you're fine.
Great.
Okay.
Totally hold out a good another round.
Okay. And then it is... Oh, actually, then as its move action, it actually stops and then just drops you.
Perfect.
And you
All I
hit
had
the
to do was
ground.
yell for help.
Maybe. Okay, and we see the rest of our heroes slowly kind of making their way towards that. Mo, I interrupted you. What was Kat going to do next?
Are you going to try and work out the direction, whether it was to the left or
Yeah.
straight up?
Yeah, it's definitely over in this direction. So, Kat, you can...
All right, okay.
Okay.
And he'd obviously picked up. I assume we've got everything stashed, and he's going to sling the unwieldy sort of laser pistol over his back.
Okay.
I'm imagining it's about the size of like a Sten gun rather than a handgun.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly how I was
It's like a
picturing
big
it,
bulky tube,
Yeah.
and not like a a normal little pistol.
Yeah.
And he'll say, "Well, I think he's this way," and effectively he's going to start moving
Okay.
carefully, not to try and trigger any taps. So,
Sure.
So move up to about there.
What's his perception again?
10.
10? Okay.
Obviously, pending any modifications for.
Okay, so you're making your way along, and give me a sec here, guys. Let me get everyone set up here. Now, where did I put that dragon token? Is he kidding?
One resolve point left.
So,
I'm not going to be doing any 10-minute rests, I don't think.
Yeah. So is it? I don't know. Am I supposed to see Tom the android's token?
Yeah, I just needed to
Because
put it up
that
so Brent could track his
Yeah.
hit points.
Yeah.
That is just for ease of reference. Okay, and so Zakros has 1, and Voldan has 1. Okay, guys. So this is where you find yourselves, in this corridor. Now, Tom, the android, what you've dropped, and I can't remember, does anyone have any light sources on?
Only the one at the helmet.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No.
So you can...
I think we've got our helmets and the lights on for that
Yeah.
creepy alien feel.
So though you can see in the darkness, obviously, Tom the android, you hit the ground, you kind of get up, and you feel awful. I mean, like looking at what your hit points are, looking at what your stamina points are, that it is consistent with how your character, what you've really been through the ringer in the last little while. But what you see at the far end of this corridor, there's something with lights that's kind of cautiously making its way towards you. You can picture like any scene from like any of the Aliens movies of people moving down starship corridors. That is the feel of lived-in old technology and the claustrophobic nature of where you are. You can hear the rattling too of chains somewhere above as well. And looking up, there's in at different points there are an inordinate amount of chains. You've got training in engineering, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me an engineering check. Let's see what if you can make anything. Okay. You cannot fathom what the function of these things would be. They seem to be randomly like soldered to the ceiling or welded to the ceiling. I guess they'd be welded because they would fall if they were soldered. And they're welded in the ceiling. And you have no idea why the hell this would be, these things would be set up this way. And as you get closer, you can hear, am I right in thinking, Ingolf, that Voldan keeps calling out Tom's name?
Yes.
What does Tom do?
Is that thing right in front of me still?
No, it's gone.
Okay. I pick up and book it towards the lights and the sound of Vuldan's voice and go, "Help! I'm running to you."
Okay. So it's a little bit of twisting and turning, and then
scared, so just booking it.
yeah, crank, crank. And I think as you're running along too, you can feel that you can't help but hear that humming of its engine, as if it's trying to come behind you. And there's ever as you're running along, the rattling of chains too, and then we suddenly.
I will,
Go ahead.
So as I'm running, I'm going to add to coming towards you. There's something coming behind me.
Okay.
And it's not friendly.
Okay. So what happens when the two groups get together? We see Tom comes obviously running out of the darkness with his pistol out. You guys are all armed as well. Each of you can tell the other one has been through a bit of a scrap, though obviously Tom is looking definitely more worse for the wear. What do we see, Brent? Like how do we know that he's so beaten up?
Because he's cut up. There's blood. I'm thinking he's got wounds on his face, maybe a slight limp, but I think maybe his because his armor is off, so his pants are cut up. There's blood stains on his leg and on his face. He's probably fallen, maybe took a wound to the head, so sort of and it's like that dried blood because it's been a while now, so it's started to crust over, and just that mixture with sweat. His hair's plastered to his face, and as he sees you guys, he isn't "Hey, how's it going?" He flips around and points his gun back to where he was in case that thing is behind him and needs to be shot.
Awesome. So that gets a Nova point, as does Thomas. Your insight into Zakros's mindset too. You get a Nova point for that. That's great. So, what happens when he comes running up, guys? What does the rest of the group do?
Zakros.
I think I will. Okay.
You go ahead. Go ahead. I can wait.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I will aim at him directly because he said something is coming after him. So it looks like I would target Tom the android.
Tom, Captain Voldan has his laser rifle pointed directly at you.
I don't know if I would have seen it because when I got to them, I would have turned my back to them so I could point to what was.
Well, I think you guys both have dark vision, so you would have seen each other at around the same time. And as soon as he's saying, as soon as he saw you, he's got the rifle up.
Okay, well, you know what? I would still run right up to them. I'm assuming that he's pointing at whatever is behind me.
Yeah.
And not at me. And then when I got up to them, when I got about here, then I would spin around.
Okay. Mental note.
And hopefully his rifle does not track me. I guess we'll find out.
I need to make sure I make use of a space doppelganger at some point, because that could have been really fun. So, the Zakros...
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Zakros shouts at Tom, "Get over here! Oh my god, you look worse than yesterday." And then he channels the healing magic of Pharasma, and he spends a resolve point to cast Healing Channel, and so everybody gets healed. I use it as a full round action.
Nice!
If that is okay. So all the hit points, everybody's hit points get healed by... no, that was the wrong one, sorry.
He's going to throw bullets at you.
Yeah, everybody gets 23 hit points, so everybody's has all their hit points back.
Nice. And as that's channel, as the mists of and the murmuring of the spirits of the deceased go around, you can hear again the chains start rattling everywhere, as if unhappy that you brought an uninvited guest into this sacred place.
Yeah. Rattle your chains. I'm not completely helpless yet.
Okay, and Vuldan, you were going to say something as well.
No, I just wanted to say that Thomas wanted to say something. That's just...
Okay. So you've got Vuldan. I'm picturing you kind of training your rifle down the corridor there, trying to see what's coming. Kat, what are you doing?
I'm Yeah, I'm doing something similar. I'll take a step forward, and I'll have the pistol out, and we'll look down the corridor and upwards
Yeah.
to see if I can see any sign of these chains. Don't you hearing?
Yeah, you can see them. You know the weird thing, now that you kind of thinking of like you've heard them starting to make more noise, you can hear them rattling. You can't see any of them moving.
Hmm.
And you're looking back and forth. Nothing.
I'm not liking this.
So I'll ask Tom, where did they held you in some sort of prison or a cell somewhere?
I've been unconscious most of the
Ah.
time. I just woke up a few minutes ago, being dragged by this floating tentacled robot, and then I shot at it, and then I heard. But as soon as I heard your voices, it dropped me, and I have no idea where it is. As soon as I was let go, I ran this way.
Kat, do you still have the comm open, or did you close it?
No, I've closed it because of the interference.
Okay.
I'm just sort of looking at Tom and wondering whether I ought to try and do something medically to try and like patch him up. But
Yeah.
I think that might be a little. We don't really have time at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so effectively, I'm going to check him out with medicine, see if there's anything I can do with the med kits and the. Don't think there is actually.
No, at this point I'm fully healed. I'm just my stamina's at 0.
All right, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So was it one of those things, those tripod things with the dong dangly legs that had you? I'll describe the.
Yes,
Guardians
exactly
before.
that.
Did you see where it went? Did it go off down the corridor?
No idea. I didn't stick around long enough to find out.
I think we
Mo.
should advance very slowly and very carefully.
Do you remember as well, Mo, what you had pulled out of that message? Remember there was a bit of it was a Versite who was talking, and then there was a single still.
Oh
image.
yeah, yeah. We had this video. We managed to hack into what we thought was a recording of the crew, but interspersed into it as like a subliminal image was this monster.
Yeah. So let's
Almost
just
as a
quickly-
blip that we actually had a look at.
So let's see here, because because I've gonna make use of my Alien Archive token pack. Boom. There we go. So as a refresher, this is what a Verthian looks like. Let me make it big so you guys can see.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got those strange black eyes, slightly inhuman features, and then obviously cybernetics. So that's what was talking. I think to bring you up to, or bring Tom up to speed, you open up a little holographic kind of display from your wrist, Cat, and it's showing this message, but then you show the still image that was hidden in there, and it's just sort of like. Like when you pause on a VHS and it has that kind of like shaky quality to the image. I can only say that because we're all old. If we were playing with some of my players in the other game, they'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is the image that was hidden in there.
Interesting. Is that image ringing any bells for Tom?
Tom, why don't you give me a mysticism check, please? Let's see if that... We're playing to the strengths here. No earthly idea.
Okay.
Yeah, it's... obviously, it does not seem like something good. That is not the appearance of something from one of the higher planes. It does not have the appearance of something from an ordered plane, so it doesn't look good. It's not good, Dan. It's not good.
That can't be good.
So, what happens next, guys? We'll assume that you sort of, bring Tom up to speed, unless you want to role play through that, because that could be fun to hear. You can bring Tom up to speed as where the hell, because Tom, like, you have no fucking idea where you are. The last thing you remember was, testing a door. You were going to try and open up a door leading further into this ruined vessel. The next thing you remember... Actually, you know what, Brent? Why don't you give me a perception check? Let's see how much you remember. We'll kind of interpret that to see... Nat 1. You are...
I remember nothing.
This is going to require some role-playing on your part. You're fairly certain someone pushed you. And the only person who was in that room with you was Kat.
Interesting.
So now that you're having a chance to catch your breath, you're thinking about this, and Jesus, you look back at Kat, who closes down the display. What's going through your mind there, Tom the android? Your digital mind.
I'm trying to now reevaluate Kat. I'm going to keep that to myself. What did he really push me? Was there something else? Someone pushed me. Was it him? Was it something else? Because that would be weird for him to do it, but I don't think there was anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just sort of dwell on that for a while.
Okay.
Maybe not walk directly in front of him.
Okay. So then, what happens next?
Yeah, I think we should slowly advance. And by the way, do we see chains moving, or just do we? So, is there someone moving we can't see because the chains are at least wiggling a bit, or aren't they moving and just making noises?
They are. You hear the sound of chains shaking, but none of the chains you can see
Okay. So
are making those noises, and it's as if like they make the noise when you are not looking at them.
And Tom's having a hard time getting over that both the passage behind them is collapsed, and that the others didn't take the loot.
Huh? See, again, not archaeologist, tomb robber.
Yeah.
These valuable things, they could have just been displayed at a museum.
Okay. Why don't Tom the android? Why don't you give me a culture check, please? Let's. You haven't had a chance to sort of bring yourself up to speed. I've also just watched Raiders and Last Crusade recently as well too. It's like God in the spirit. Where you are, it confirms that this is something of what would become part of the Pact Worlds. It's probably Verthian in design, or from Verces, but other than that, like, you can't tell time, you can't tell, what era.
Are there any active computer systems in here, or is it just Hull?
It seems like there's something running. If you ask Kat had actually looked at this before, and it seems like everything is sort of slave to some master, all the things they've passed so far, including some massive bits of machinery. They all seem to be slave to some master system, but there's no direct access here. There's no way of getting in. Something is running here. Like, you can hear the sound very faintly of thrumming engines, and it's warmer in here than what you would expect.
Okay. Is there any, because I don't need an actual interface, I just need to find some part of the computer?
Well, no, you need a computer in order to interface with it. You can interface with a computer without your accessories, but you need to have something that is an access point.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was wondering. Not if there was chunks of something on the wall.
No, and that's what you're not able to. Because I mean, Kat could have done the same thing too. As he could have tried to access it with his, his hacking kit, but unfortunately, no.
Okay.
And maybe what you do is you sort of sense out. You use your. You try and reach out to try and actually. Do you do that?
No, I'm sort of hesitant. I wouldn't do it because if they might just sense our location.
But you did ask me as to whether there was anything you could contact with.
Yeah, like a physical thing to like
Yes. Okay. So yeah.
computer.
Yeah. You wouldn't just mind link, willy-nilly with anything, right?
No, like I don't think, because there's no way to like put. I think from Tom's perspective, I think it would be just like opening it up. There wouldn't be any firewalls if I just went ahead and tried to mind link.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
if I contacted something,
Yeah.
like I think he's got like a plus 11 in computers, so he'd probably have an idea of not just to like
Yeah.
open himself up.
Sure. Okay. So then, what next, guys?
Well, I think Zach was right. We just slowly move down the corridor. I think we need to follow that thing that dropped Tom, because I think that may lead us to. And
Okay.
we're kind of assuming that it's down that way. So I think moving slowly forward, maybe at half speed, just to check for any more of those jury-rigged traps.
How long do we have to do you rest before you get like stamina points back?
10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
I mean, we could.
Resolve point.
I could use that.
Okay.
And actually, and maybe water and stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move up here just to act as a guard if we want to rest.
Forgive
at this
me,
point.
this is a stupid question. Do androids drink and eat? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they do, don't they?
I don't know. I'm assuming they need some kind of
Yeah,
fuel.
unless it
to,
says
like,
they're immune
power
to
it.
it.
That's a good question. I know I don't breathe.
Yeah, you don't breathe, so you do eat. Yeah. You still need some
So-
kind of fuel to drive your engine, as it were. Okay.
Yeah, robo protein bar. Or...
Can of oil.
Yeah, they're androids, not robots.
So yeah, you know what? I'm assuming he must use some like, kind of. He had the ability to have like regular, sort of organic food and turn it into the fuel to process. Like you'll have organic components.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'll probably stupid thirsty because it's been a while since I've been abducted, right?
Yeah.
Well, how long was that?
Oh, it's they've only been exploring for maybe a little more than an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's actually not that long then.
No. Yeah, maybe like hour and a half at this point, because they did spend some time carefully kind of cataloging what was in the crates that they found.
Okay, so I guess I'd just be a little bit of water. I guess at this point I wouldn't be like
Okay.
starving. Okay.
Okay. So, as you're kind of setting, while Tom the android is catching his breath, what are you guys doing?
I'll stay on guard.
Okay.
I stand.
I've only got one resolve point, so I can't take a 10-minute rest.
Okay.
But I'll also explain to Tom that we reckon that the ship is effectively went in backwards. So effectively, the ship is sitting with its rear down, and you fell through the length of the ship. So we think we're down in the engine room somewhere.
Interesting. Well, that'd be interesting to get into the proper engine room,
Okay.
and then maybe we can find. I mean, it sounds like there's some engines going, so perhaps we can access the computer and get a layout and figure out how to.
Yeah, that was our thought. That we're just trying to find it. But I think if we try and follow that thing, because I'd imagine they must have set up shop where all the power is.
That could be it too. And then before we move forward too, I'm gonna power up my armor.
Okay. Oh, would you have brought your junk armor with you into the thing?
Yeah. So and it would have fallen off of me when I went unconscious. I'm guessing.
Okay. Well, so you're like,
I guess I wouldn't have more junk armor on me, and I have to either I'll grab some from around me, or I've got a cantrip that's called Fabricate Scrap, so I can make my own.
okay, how?
Maybe I'll just do that. I'll fabricate scrap, and
So
then
click on
scrap
Fabricate
into
Scrap. Let's see how that works.
armor. All right.
Just out of interest, I actually don't know. Okay. So you need a bulk of inert material in order to do that.
But it's pretty. It's like I could even use dust.
No, but you need a bulk of it, and a bulk is like
Yeah.
10 pounds. That's 10 pounds of dust.
All right. Is there enough junk around? Oh, it's an old ship, right?
It's an old ship, but I'm not sure there's stuff lying.
Okay.
Well, here's what I'll allow, Brent, is you take 10 minutes, and you will be able to sort of scrap together enough stuff to fabricate your armor.
Okay.
Okay, so you catch your breath. It's now 20 minutes have passed, and Cat's sort of, not Cat, I'm sorry, Tom the android is sort of pulling this place apart. Anything happen with Voldan, Zakros, or Cat in that 20 minutes?
No, I'm standing beside JT and be on guard and scan the area.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually going to, after we've had a 10-minute rest, I'm just going to look in that door there.
Okay.
So I'll pop up to there and
Sure.
stick my head around.
So while and as Voldan, you actually may be able to help him pull this stuff apart with your hand.
Yeah,
That is,
but wouldn't we want to wait until Tom is finally ready?
Yeah.
And
No,
start-
I was just going to check there was nothing in there.
Splitting the party is always a wise decision.
Well,
We're
effectively,
still
Cat's
in reach. We're still in
Cat's-
reach. With each
Cat's
other,
just going to
20
sit there
20
on
feet.
guard. He's taking a breather, but he's not taking a 10-minute rest because
okay.
I need to keep my one resolve point
Okay.
for emergencies.
Now, guys, I would like you to nominate someone who is not Tom the android to make a perception roll for me.
Yeah, not me. That is my first.
Ah, come on, JT. Do it. Do it.
It's pity you can't use the captain's inspiring things. So a perception check.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, actually, how does fatigue get? You get rid of fatigue.
fatigue. You can't run or charge. You take -1 to AC, attack rolls, melee damage rolls, reflex saves, initiative checks, strength and dex skill checks, and you're reduced. Your encumbrance is reduced by 1. It should not impact your roll, and you don't have a minus to that. I'm looking. Didn't calculate a penalty. That's just a shitty roll. You rolled a 5. Okay.
Do you have a operative skill for your perception, or?
I think his operative bonuses with computers, unless it applies to perception as well.
No, it's all calculated in.
Oh.
You
Yeah.
get the operatives
Okay.
operatives edge on everything.
So
But yeah,
Cat is the one who is sort of keeping an eye out, and that's when let me transition out here. I can't remember this is the one I want. No, it's this one here. What happens is suddenly you guys are awash in light. And you can see hovering above you 4 of these things. The thing is, they're not moving towards you. They've just activated some kind of floodlight. So you all kind of look around, and Tom, this is pretty much like right after you've cast your armor spell. You all look around, and what you then hear is the kind of scratchy popping you heard before when that thing spoke to you. Only there's not a speaker in this area, so it's kind of echoing through the corridors. Just leave the offering undamaged. Flesh metal for me. And your offering will be accepted.
I think Tom, he wants you.
I think he was directed to me. I think I can offer you guys up.
So these things seem to be they are not taking any hostile action. They seem to just like have startled you, and they're just hovering there right now.
But I like you guys better than them. Should we offer them up a grenade?
Okay, guys, remember, if you're talking about this, your characters aren't telepathic. You're talking about this out loud then.
Oh, wait. We're gonna use it.
Hold on. Let's just do this. Let's drop.
Switch to Vesk.
We're gonna drop in character talk only. So let's start. We'll let you start fresh there. So what happens?
Okay. I will be. I'll form a telepathic bond with the group.
Okay, so that. Yeah, that's because that's gonna have somatic components to it. They'll see you're casting a spell. Just FYI.
What would they know? Well, this is pre-gap, so I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna deduce that they won't necessarily be able to speak Vesk because the Vesk weren't known until after the gap. So I think they want me. They're giving me the opportunity to offer you guys up as a sacrifice. What language did they address me in, Kevin?
It is the common. It's accented, but it's common. So that's what Tom the Android says, guys. What do your characters say in response?
Well, I think it's you they were talking about, but
Yeah.
I suspect that would be too high a price to play. Anyone got any grenades?
You hear now again from down the corridor. No secrets! Offer willingly, or we will strip the flesh. And you hear the rattling of chains again. Above you.
I can empower the grenade with a spell before we throw it.
Again, you just said that out loud. I've given you the warning.
Right, yeah, and Vesk, though.
Okay. We're gonna start counting down.
Zakros is out and bullets checking is gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting ready, waiting for
Go ahead, Captain.
Vuldan to go.
Yeah, I would take aim at one of the robots and say, we are not interested in offerings.
Okay. So then you hear from at the far end of the hallway, this voice hits this fevered, high-pitched, screeching kind of
Yeah.
And everyone click on your token and click on initiative, please. I rolled crap.
Can I borrow 2 of your Sharpies?
Yes.
Okay. Can you get the 2 for me, Dad? 2 black ones.
Okay, these are for permanent, so you can only write them on paper, not on boards, okay?
I know. So therefore, in my
Vuldan.
science lab, in my bedroom to color on paper.
Yeah. I would like to
okay?
Yeah, Mom said ask
Okay.
Dad to get Sharpies if she didn't tell me anything about you can keep it in your bedroom or not. Okay?
Okay.
I would like to quip at Tom in Vesk that
Yeah.
they wanted you as an offering. We are fighting for your ass.
Okay.
No, they wanted you guys.
Brent,
did my initiative not click?
Did you click on the token first?
I did. Hang on, let me try that again.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna.
Ungrateful androids.
There we go.
so much for surprising him with a grenade. Oh well.
Okay. So first up is Zakros. You checked. It looks like things are gonna get tense here.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Hang on, that gun has the semi-auto pistol. Just checking the reach. Oh, where's the description? Gone. Okay.
30 foot.
30
for
foot.
pistols.
Okay. Okay. Then I move a bit back and then I shoot at that one.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
I was adding the bars so we can track here as well. You guys can see how much damage you're doing. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, so you fire it, kind of ricochets off the side. Cat, what are you doing?
As it's all kicked off, I will move back to be more or less in line with Zakros.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm going to effectively, as part of the move action, I'm going to get my wrist computer to create static or effect to try and do the operative's trick on them.
Okay. Let's see here.
Computers. So what's their? Yeah, we have to work out their DC for that to work. So
is it
it's
10 plus their CR, or is it 15 plus CR?
I think it's.
Or is it 20?
15 plus CR. Hang on.
Sorry, I know I ask about this every time. I should fucking remember it, but. 20 plus CR, so no, that's not good enough.
Okay,
so
in that case...
And I think what it is you're trying to do that, they've got some kind of separate, archaic networks, and you're just not able to get through to it.
Well, yeah, it's just creating effectively...
Okay, so go ahead and make an attack roll. And these things will go. Ooh!
Like it.
Good shot. Which one did you shoot?
I think it should be the one directly in front of me, I think.
Okay. Nice shot. Boom! All right. So then it is their turn. So let's see here. They, every one of them, those little like tentacle things or like pointy implements in the front there. To refresh here, those things start agitating as they surge forward. Their red eyes, those three things kind of glowing, and the floodlights illuminating you guys. Let's see here. So first one is going to come swooping in towards you, Cat. Oops, and I'll accidentally open up the token. Nat 1. Because it's making such a steady course towards you. Go ahead and make another attack roll on it, Cat.
With the pistol?
Please, yep. Nice! Blam, blam! So you're blowing this thing to bits. And then so it missed completely. I'm going to send 2 after Tom. Zakros, you get an attack of opportunity with a melee if you got one.
I don't think I have a melee weapon now.
Okay.
You're always armed.
Hmm?
The vest's always armed.
I'm playing.
So you could just backhand it with your claws.
Oh, that's
no,
I'm Zakros, not Voldan.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then
using the characters there.
So two.
Can you only do Can you only do an opportunity attack with a melee weapon?
I think so. Let's see here. I mean that's the way it was in Pathfinder.
I mean, you could use the pistol and
like whack
hammer
it. I'll let you do 1d4 damage with the or 1d3 damage with the improvised.
Yeah, okay then.
If you want, yeah. So let's go ahead. So it may be a melee attack then. So your strength.
Is that just a strength roll?
Yeah,
then?
strength plus your base attack bonus.
Oh, okay, forget that.
Ooh, 2.
always roll 20. I mean,
But what's your your base attack bonus is not going to be 13. So.
No.
So you swing wildly at the first one that goes by.
Knife out as well,
but don't you worry, because there's another one coming in for you. And let's see.
Okay.
I should not use this blue. Well, I rolled a nat 1 on this blue dice, so let's see how it goes. And 3, so this misses you. Those tentacles are going out, but it does not hit you. Voldan, your crew is under attack. What are you doing?
yeah, that is stupid because I had my laser pistol. I was aiming at one of those things.
I'll let you make. I'll give you +2 to hit.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm saying I'm aiming at the one in front, or I was aiming at the one in front of Tom.
In front of Tom. Yeah, this guy here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
But that will cause an attack of opportunity.
Yes,
right?
I know.
Yeah.
The range
so,
attack? No. You know, I'll allow you to make these attacks without attacks of opportunity because you should have had a ready to action that you could have taken beforehand. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
you go ahead and make those
So,
attacks.
and that is no full attack then, just a normal attack.
Just a normal attack. Oh!
Yeah. Yes, and +2, but that will miss as well.
Oh, wait, hold on. Actually, hold on. +2. Oh, no, it's so close.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm using my Nova point. Just.
Nice. Here it comes.
Yeah. Come on. I don't know. Just don't wait. Just.
God.
It's getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
So I dropped that stupid weapon.
Let's take a look at I made a point of getting my critical fumble deck out, so let's see what happens here. So it is an energy. Oosh, I can't believe what just happened. Give me, that's what it's called. Give me a D4 roll, please.
A D4 roll.
Yeah.
3.
You cannot take reactions for 3 rounds. So it's only like attacks of opportunity type stuff. For 3 rounds, you can't take reactions.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Your bodyguard thing, is that a reaction?
Yes.
You guys can thank Paizo for their critical fumble deck. Okay, so Voldan, you are finished. Tom, the android, what are you doing?
I don't want to provoke an attack of opportunity here. I'm going to attack with my my dueling sword that I picked up that I have not yet had a chance to use.
Nice.
So let's see if that works.
Go.
Nope.
Oh. Well, you could have used. I think when you practiced, it wasn't with giant, grabbing droids.
Hold still, damn it!
God damn it! All right, is that it for you? I mean, you could have made a full attack, or did you intentionally just make a single attack?
I can't really withdraw here.
Well,
I guess I could try.
Well,
Yeah.
you would have had to decide before you made that roll.
Yeah,
so
so it's
you know,
all
that's
good.
fine.
I
Well,
don't have anything else to
That's
do.
okay. We got something for next turn. Did you want to step at all? Can't you take a guarded step? It's not difficult terrain you're in. Like, I don't want to tell you how to play your character, but if you did want to try and take advantage of the spell, oof. Okay.
I think that puts me out of the reach, except for 1, right?
Yep. Okay, Zachros, what are you doing?
I will withdraw.
Okay.
As far as that I stand like here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. What I withdraw is the full action. So.
Okay. So then, Kat, what are you doing? No?
Yeah.
Oh, it's deciding. Okay.
Well, I'm going to try and create a distraction and trick attack again with the computers to try and sort of jam into their
Okay.
systems.
You
See
got
what
it.
I mean? So
Nice. Oh no, it actually. I'm sorry. Oh yes, it does. Yeah, that succeeds. So you can go ahead and make your attack, and then if you're successful, roll your 1d8 extra damage. Right?
yeah.
Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Oh. You want to spend a Nova point?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's.
Oh, that is good enough. So, go ahead and roll 1d8. Oh, actually, you know what? That's enough to destroy it as is. I'm assuming you're focusing
Okay.
fire on the same one. Now,
Yeah.
do range attacks attack or attract attack of opportunity in when you're in melee? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they do actually. Hang on.
Yes, they do.
They do? Okay, so that one behind you is going to try and whack you with the Actually, both of them technically could. That is a miss and a hit. Okay, so... so you do destroy the 1, and let's see, I'm gonna give it an E, so on a 1, it's the one that you destroyed that is gonna potentially grapple you. On a 2, it's the other one. Of course. So, you are hit. Can I get a reflex save from you, please? I'll destroy this one.
Hang on.
Oh. All right. So you are currently grabbed by this other one here. Okay. Okay. So now
just as I was trying to move out the way, it's obviously grabbed me from behind.
Yeah. So you blasted one, and then it wraps around you. You take 7 points of damage as well. Okay. Now, would you kindly give me a fortitude save? Actually, give me an athletics check instead, because it's going to try and move you. Oh. You are lifted into the air, and 1, 2. Oopsies! Did you just kill yourself? Oh no, you're on top of there. Okay, that's why. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's drifting away with you. This one is going to move forward. Boom. Tom currently has 2 of them on him, and they seem particularly interested in him. Tom the android, does a 19 hit your KAC?
It does.
It does. Okay, so you take 5 points of damage, and then what about a 15?
It does not.
Does not. Okay, so I need 1 reflex save from you, please. And then you take, what did I say?
You said 5 points?
5 points of damage, yeah. Okay, and then I need a reflex save from you, and then Voldan, you are up next.
Okay, I will use my claws. I dropped my weapon because that stupid thing did something I didn't expect. So
Okay.
And smash both of them into the one just in front of me.
Okay. So let's see which one here. Let me, I'm gonna do the same roll. On a 1, this is the one that grappled him. On a 2, this is the one that grappled him. Okay, let's see. It is. So it's the one right in front of you has grabbed Tom and is trying to pull him up again.
Yeah, so let's see whether this will do anything.
The first one, oh geez, actually neither of those are very good.
Does he get flanking bonus against the one below because we're both next to him?
No, because you need to be opposite side, I think, in this game, don't you?
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah,
you have to cross draw a line between the 2 characters.
Yeah. So you're clawing at this thing, and it's your claws are going along.
I have to be careful because it has a Tom, so I can't go full berserk on it.
That's, hold on. Oh, because it's a full attack, that's why. I'm like, why are those numbers so low? Okay. Then, right, so then we are on Tom the Android. You are currently, you remember this feeling.
I don't like this feeling. I'm going to try and cut myself free.
Okay. How you can do that?
With my sword. I'm going to give it a whack.
Okay, so -2 because you're grappled. Oh no!
Let me spend a Nova point to get
okay. How many nat ones have you guys rolled so far? 3?
Too many?
All of them.
Oh.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, seriously?
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's at least it's not.
Yeah, you got to get Caden again. Let Caden roll for you. Okay, so then, Zakros, you see one of your allies being dragged off by these things. You see another one is under assault by them. You've repositioned yourself to no doubt make an amazing tactical play. What are you doing?
First, I reposition myself.
Oh, and Brent, we're using the red dots there to track your what do you call it? Your Nova points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
that's why that's on there.
Okay.
Not just because we like the colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, JT is getting dragged away, so I run here. I don't mind if it hits me. I shoot at JT's.
Okay. Because it's grappling,
Future.
I'm actually not... Oh, it's got a bunch of extra arms. Yeah, okay. Shoot. Go ahead and make your shot.
All right. Come on.
Oh my god!
Oh,
I use an
lucky.
overpoint.
Yes, you can. Jeez.
Okay. What's going on here?
Come on. That's 20! Okay, so here's what I'll let you. Do you want me to draw a critical hit thing, or do you want the critical effect to be that it drops cat?
That it drops cat.
Okay, so what does it look like as you shoot this thing, and then it drops your ally to the ground?
I probably hit a tentacle that's holding him, and I shoot it off so he falls down.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cat, give me an acrobatics check. Let's see if you land on your feet. If you're gonna be like your namesake. Ugh.
No, it's the fatigue that's doing it.
Nope. So you are prone right now. Okay. And then it is Cat. Speaking of Cat, so you are prone on the ground right now. What do you want to do? This thing is above you. Sparks flying out of one of its tentacles.
Roll over and point straight up.
Love it. I'll give you
okay,
you know what? I'll give you a flanking bonus from being directly underneath this thing.
I'll key the computer to try and send a burst of electricity or jamming at it. Again.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Because you assume I'm moving around on the floor to do that.
Not quite
think
good
he's
enough.
a
No,
no.
because you've been jostled around. But let's see how your shot does. +2 to hit. Nice. So
Yeah,
what does it
like
look like as you blast through the top of this thing?
Well, I assume he's lying on his back.
Yep.
And he's like shooting through, and I assume it goes straight through up the,
Yep.
through effectively the head out of the top, and we see stuff.
Yeah.
Sort of
It
swoosh out
slams
of
to the
top.
side, sparks fly out, and it is gone. All right, we got
Assume he
two.
doesn't land on top of me though.
Did not, no. So there's two left here. One of them has grabbed Tom the android. So Voldan and Zakros, go ahead and make attacks of opportunity because it is going to try and drag Tom the android away.
I would so love to. I would so love to.
Tom, give me a athletics check, please. Oh God! You're like, take me.
I'm saving my rolls above 5 for later in the session.
Okay, so let's hear.
No, I didn't hit it.
And I can't, so yeah.
You can't. Oh, because no reaction. Shit. Right. Damn it. Okay, so. 3, 4, 5. All right. And then this last one. Number 1, it'll be Voldan. Number 2, it'll be Zakros. Oh, Voldan. You look like a prime specimen.
Yeah.
So it comes forward. Those tentacles roll, lash out. I don't think that a 12 hits you.
No.
Okay. That is it for the servitors. Voldan, what are you doing?
Yeah, I will claw at that thing.
Okay.
Come on. At some point in time, I will have to hit something. Yeah, well, once.
Oh, okay. So that second one is really good. You kind of clawed along, but the second one, you get right in the top there, and you pull out a big chunk of the top of the casing for this thing. Look at this. Boom! Sparks fly out, and it kind of wobbles to the side. Tommy Android, you are being borne away. What would you like to do?
Well, because I am so very, very effective at hitting it and getting myself down, what I'm thinking of doing is grabbing my sword with both hands and trying to jam it in somewhere in the wall and stop it, use that as leverage to be not pulled away.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you +2 to your next athletics check to try and resist this. Like normally,
Okay.
normally you wouldn't even be able to make a resistance because you're flying, or it's dragging you along in the air. But I'll let you get a +2 on its turn.
Okay.
Okay. Zachros, what are you doing?
I'm confident that Vuldan can handle himself, so I run after Tom to here and shoot at that
Okay.
thing. Okay.
Nice.
What happened here? Sorry.
13. Oh, so close, but it kind of ricochets off one of the casings at the side. Not quite good enough. Cat, what are you doing? You're still on your back, and you see another one of these things going by with Tom attached. He's jammed his sword into the side. Sparks are flying as it's going
Yeah, I'll
along.
start how to do opposite edge. Effectively, he's going to effectively try and do what he did before, and effectively get underneath it and shoot straight up. So effectively, he's going to.
That will be into
swim along
Tom. That will be into Tom, because remember, Tom's grappled by this thing. And
Oh, he's underneath him.
yeah. But I agree. Casualties are to be expected. Sorry, Tom.
Wait.
Okay, he's just going to shoot from. He's going to pull out his knife with the move action.
Okay.
I can't really. There's no easy way of doing like an opposite edge here, because I'm preparing to like attack of opportunity when it goes past. But
You
effectively
are
he'll shoot
prone too, right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your acrobatics bonus? Like, are you quite acrobatic?
Currently, it is 5.
The total bonus is +5?
Yeah, because I'm fatigued still.
Oh, maybe you didn't
Unless
train.
you're
with it.
assuming that I got rid of that during the.
Oh, you're
when
fatigued,
he-
of
so
course.
we were
Sorry. Yeah, no, you're right.
resting.
Okay, so that shot also kind of goes wild. All right, Tom the Android, give me another athletics test +2. So you can hold yourself back here. Oh my God!
Come on.
What you're
Let
doing?
me try. You know what? I got one last noble point. Let me try that again. I
Okay.
gotta start rolling higher soon.
Here we go.
There we go.
Hey, nice. So you're being dragged along, and you finally find purchase. It hits like it ducks into the, or not ducks, but the sword tip kind of skips into the seam in the wall between like two pipes, and you hold on to it, and this thing stops, and then it just constricts you instead.
So much better.
You take 8 points of damage.
Okay.
Voldan, you are in mortal combat with this thing. Oh, hold on, I gotta do the one that's attacking you. Shit. Sorry, 1 second here. So Voldan, we've got one. Does a 22 hit you?
Against AAC, yes.
KAC, yeah. Okay, you take 7 points of damage as this tentacle wraps around you. Would you kindly give me a reflex save?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Reflex save. Let it get me so I can get it out of the air. Where is reflex? Wait a minute. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, it's that you've fought enough of these things now. You know, as soon as it hits, you kind of duck out of the way, and it tentacle slips off of you. Voldan, now it's your turn. Sorry.
Yeah. That's. I'll try it again. Come on. No.
Oh.
That's you. You cursed me. You stupid thing.
Here's what I'll give you. Okay, I'm going to give you a bit of a devil's bargain here. You can re-roll that if I get to make another attack on you.
Yeah. So go ahead. Make
Okay.
your attack first.
Yep, go ahead. So we'll both make our attack rolls. You guys are 14 versus KAC.
No.
Nice. Holy shit! You made the best of that second attack. So as you're, in furious mortal combat with this thing, its tentacles flashing around. What does it look like as you pull this thing apart?
I think I would just like in Wolverine fashion, just clawing it from each side.
Awesome. Okay. So that is down. Tom, the android. You've currently got.
I guess my action's pretty much to hold on with my two hands to the sword. I guess that doesn't really leave a lot. I will try to pick at it to free myself with my legs.
From how you described it, Brent, I think you're trying to muscle your way out of this grip as well. I'll let you make an athletics check to try and break the grip, in addition to maintaining that sort of thing there. I'll give you +2 because of where you've placed the sword as well.
Oh, look, my first awesome roll today.
Okay, so what does it look like as you fucking throw your strength in and pull yourself out of this?
It's like, it's like a, I guess it's physically large, right?
Yep.
So it's almost like a child just hoofing at like an adult and just kicking it in the side, trying to free itself. But because I've got the leverage of the sword, I think I just knock it in its torso just enough that I can squirm out.
Okay. Give me a acrobatics check, please. Let's see if you land on your feet or if you hit the ground. I already know what's going to happen if you roll in that one as well.
Wouldn't I be hanging there because my sword's jammed? So I'd be like hanging on the wall by my sword.
What's your character's athletics bonus?
0.
Yeah. Imagine trying to do a chin-up on a bar this long.
Yeah, it'd probably be more like
it would be. Yeah, I mean, like you freed yourself.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
And I'd imagine the sword would bend.
Okay, yeah.
To, like, put an entire person's weight on it. They're not latched.
Okay, so you and your you actually don't fall to the oh no, actually it would be a higher bonus than that. So you do hit the ground, but you don't lose your sword. Your sword is in your hand, and this thing is kind of turning around to try and get at you. Zachros, this it seems that Tom has pulled himself free from the grip of this thing. What are you doing?
Shoot at the servitor.
Yeah.
All right, and I will have a conversation with JT after the fight.
Okay.
Okay. Hang on.
One. Oh my god!
I have another Nova point.
Okay.
I use that Nova point.
No!
Presumably the conversation is going to be about marksmanship.
Oh
yeah.
god, yeah. Let's see here. Kinetic.
Oh man.
You gain the bleeding condition. 1 damage. So
I always wanted that.
What do you think caused that?
I shot in my foot, I guess.
Maybe there's a ricochet? Maybe there's a ricochet, like a bullet kind of bounces. Yeah. Okay, so you got 1 ongoing damage, and you take 1 damage at the beginning of your turn. I think it's as soon as you gain any healing or as soon as you use medicine, you can stop that bleeding. Okay. Cat, what are you doing?
So it's in the center of the corridor, and Tom's fallen to the other side, as it
That's
were.
right, yeah. So you guys are both on the ground now. This thing is hovering above you.
I'm going to shoot it from where I am, I think.
Okay.
If I try and stand up, it will just whack me.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a flanking bonus from where you're positioned as well, too, because it's floating.
Okay, as effectively on my back, I'll effectively try and again jam it with something from my...
Yep. Whoa! Shit!
33.
Very nice. Okay, go ahead and roll your attack.
Right, well... Oh, this is where I get up.
You know, that's so good, I'm gonna effectively treat it as, it's gonna have a standard action or a move action next turn. That's it.
Okay,
That's not a very good shot.
Well, obviously, I sort of messed it up a bit, but my shot goes to the side.
Yeah. But really effective use of code.
Points.
Okay, so for this thing's turn, it can do a move or it can do a standard. It is going to try and grab Tom again, and I think it's a bonus. You're currently flat-footed, Tom, because you're on the ground.
Okay.
So you got -2 to your AC. Fucking 19. So that's a 25 versus your AC. I take it that hits?
Yes, it does.
Okay. 6 points of damage, and would you kindly give me a reflex save, please? It is quite intent on you.
Oh,
Ugh.
that's not very good.
So you got yourself, you're like, I'm free! Oh, God! And it pulls you up again.
Sorry, how much damage did it do?
It was 6 points of damage.
6, okay.
Okay, and then that's the only action it has because of the code. Voldan, what are you doing?
I think I will charge and jump and try to claw it out of the air.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, because I can only move then and get to it in time. So
Okay. Why don't you give... You know what I'll say is because of that, I'll give Tom a +2 to his athletics check to avoid being dragged away. Tom, what are you doing? You've currently got a +2 untyped bonus from Voldan. What are you doing?
Wait a minute. Can I do my charge attack?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said you could only move. Yeah. Go ahead and make your attack.
No. I can only with charging. I can do the double move and attack.
Got it.
So
okay.
I will just do a simple attack with a 14. I think that's not enough.
14 KC. You don't get a bonus to hit from charge, do you?
I think actually I get a -2.
Yeah.
Well, I know you get minus to your AC afterwards.
Yeah,
Right.
but I don't think I get a bonus to the attack.
To hit, okay, yeah.
But,
It changes in so many additions. Because you're 1 point off from actually hitting that thing, so...
let's look at charge again.
Yeah.
Charge. No, -2 penalty to the attack roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on the DM screen, jeez. Okay, so then that actually with a -2, that wouldn't even quite hit. So you try and get on this thing, but I nevertheless will give you a +2 there. Tom, what are you doing?
It's grappled at me again.
You've been grappled, so your options here are you can make an attack, or you can try and resist again and get a bonus to your athletics check.
Sure, I will try and pull myself free again.
Okay. You got +2 to the check from Voldan. Nice! You pulled yourself free again. Voldan, while you didn't hit, you did knock this thing a little bit off. You know, I mean, it's hovering, so it's not off balance, but it sort of wobbles, and the tentacles writhe, and they're free. Tom is free of it. Zakros, what are you doing?
I shoot at it again. It doesn't matter if I bleed. One question about bleeding. It says I get the bleeding damage. Is it stamina first, or is it?
I think
hit
so.
point damage?
I think so. Yeah. It just says
Because
damage.
It doesn't specify in the rules.
I think it's just it would you know, this is the sort of like action movie, like I ain't got time to bleed kind of thing.
Okay.
Where it's
yeah,
just
then
it looks cool in the scene, but it doesn't really affect you, you know, for long term.
Oh no.
Sheesh. Kat, what are you doing?
Effectively, I'm going to do the same as last time. Effectively, I'm going to try and send a burst of stuff into the computer.
Whoa!
Which is a
Nat
crit.
20.
If you're going to,
So
and then he's going to try and shoot.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, you need to crit here.
Jeez.
Still have a Nova point.
No.
No. Oh,
Remember when you spend your Nova points, guys, you got to take that dot off. I'm not tracking them for you.
Well, I don't seem to be able to move the dot, so.
Like if you go on click on the token, you click on the little circle thing, not the cog, the circle. You can just click on the.
yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so then it is this thing's turn. It only has one action. It's gonna try and grab. It's gonna do a multi-attack. It's gonna try with one of them. It's gonna grab Tom, and one of them is going to try and hit Voldan. So it doesn't have a great bonus to hit. 16 KAC versus you there. Oh, I can't do a full action because it's only got one action. Never mind. Let me re-roll that. Oh, it's a 19. So yeah, Tom, you are hit. Give me a reflex save, please.
Wait. Now I can react.
Nice!
And I throw myself before that thing.
Yeah.
Does it help? Because now I don't know what your bonus is, Brent. So
For reflex save, it's
no.
+2.
What is your KAC?
Oh, my KC is 16.
Ah, shit. Doesn't really do enough. So you get a +2 bonus, but
Oh, just one shy.
And he's flat-footed too. Yeah, so, but
I
you know what
tried
I'll
my
say,
best.
Voldan, if you're using your attack of opportunity to do that, I will give him a +2 to his athletics check to avoid getting dragged away then.
Yeah, okay.
Because you're using up a resource for that. So, Brent, 4 points of damage, and we'll give you a reflex save at +2. We'll use the bonus there. Nice! So it doesn't, finally, you've learned to not get grappled. Voldan, what are you doing?
Yeah, I will just go full berserk.
Yes.
Yeah. Finally, but I
Okay.
have no time to get my hammer. That's a pity. Yeah, but at least one more hit. I hope.
Man, okay, so you
You
grab
could have
this
pulled
thing.
it as part of the charge, actually.
Hmm?
You can draw a weapon as part of the move.
Oh yeah, I could. Yeah.
Do you want to say
No,
you've
no,
done
no.
that?
Yeah, if I could, then I would.
Then you know what?
add
I'll just
3
say
more
that's
damage.
enough to bring down. I think that that if you rolled max damage with your hammer, that would be enough to one-shot this thing. So, what does it look like as you bring this hammer down now that it's finally freed Tom?
Yeah. So using my hammer, I will just smash it where the head is and just.
Staggers back and drops down. You hear over the speakers that same high-pitched, and it suddenly cuts out. And all you hear is the thrubbing of ever louder engines. Now, guys, we blew right past our normal break. Let's take our quick break now, and then we'll come back and deal with the ramifications of this. I think no one's... Oh, Tom's down into hit points again. Boy, Tom.
I looked the same way I was when you guys saw me a few minutes ago.
They seem to really want you. I mean, all you need to be done is just to be traded off to some kind of demonic, whatever, like, chain demon worshipping thing. I mean, come on.
And it's part of the Halloween costume. Bloodied human.
Exactly. All right, let's put our, what do you call it? Intermission music on here. And back in 5.
All right.
Are you reading the bleeding rules?
No, I'm just reading the advanced medkit because I want to do deadly wounds first on Tom.
But we have all this healing, Sarah. We could just.
Yeah, but that costs nothing. Okay, first I can heal some points and then we can use.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I can take 10 and I don't have to roll and I'm successful. And he will heal. Oh no, only if the disease. If I beat the disease. Yeah. What is his level? He would heal 3 hit points for free. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's,
only if I roll and I beat the challenge rating, the target DC by 5, then I would add my intelligence modifier, which is only 1. So I just take 10 and I can heal 3 hit points for free.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Oh, let me turn the music back over. So I had a comment on one of my Conan, the 2D20 sessions. I've run Pit of Cthulhu twice now, and the most recent one, someone I finally picked up that I make the sound effect of the drum. There's a scene like the guys are washed up on a jungle and they have to make their way across, and at one point they hear drums from somewhere in the jungle, and just because that's where my mind goes because I'm a child of the 90s, I always do the intro drum thing from Marilyn Manson's Beautiful People. That someone finally picked up on it. They're like, it's a little weird that those lizard guys play Marilyn Manson in the jungle, but otherwise good session. Oh man. Okay, I think we'll go back to this here. It reminds me, I really gotta try and get that game more in the get back to the table in 2020, because that is a really fun game. I've never had a chance to play it over a long period of time.
The Conan one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like this momentum thing. It helps to work as a group. So
definitely.
That's nice.
The Star Trek one, I think of the ones I've run, the Star Trek one is probably my favorite because it's the loosest, you know, like it's the closest to kind of a story game type thing, like we were talking about before we went live. Yeah, it's a pretty cool game. It's a cool mechanic. Have any of you guys played John Carter yet?
Yeah, me.
Yeah, what'd you think of it?
So yeah, it is even more narrative. I think it works well. The only problem is that some of the rules are unclear, and even if you ask in the forum, you don't get a clear answer either, so you don't know. Yeah, you just have to come up with a house rule or a ruling or something like that.
Now that actually, Ingolf, before we get back to the thing, now that I think of it too, you helped play test the what do you call it? Acton Cthulhu 2D20 thing, yes. Right? Is it like crunchier, more on the like Infinity and Conan end, or is it more loose, like on the Star Trek and John Carter end?
I think it was more like I think actually it was 1-to-1 like Conan 2D20.
Okay, so it's pretty crunchy.
It felt like playing Conan.
Okay, interesting. All right, so I think we are all back now. So, seems that you guys are not willing to make a deal to turn over Tom the android.
Maybe I couldn't have talked about
I need them parts.
You called. I called dibs.
Tom maintains that it's not him; it's everyone else that they want.
Well, if we had
Okay.
the UBPs, we could have made a fake Tom and then given them that.
So I just read through the medicine skill
Yep.
and advanced med kit,
Yep.
and I want to do tread deadly wounds on Tom, so I can heal 3 hit points. And the DC with the advanced med kit is only 20. I have a medicine skill of 8. Oh,
I think I'm
alright.
slightly better. I mean,
Yeah.
one of us could assist the other, presumably.
Yep.
Okay, because I can. If you could assist me, I could take 10 and then heal automatically 3 hit points.
Sure. So the aid is, I think it's a DC 20, isn't it?
With the advanced medkit, it's DC 20. Yeah.
No, but I mean, like the DC for aiding in general is a 20 in this game, I think, because it's kind of high.
Yeah, hang on. It is the DC is you can use
Isn't it 5 less
based
than
on the
original?
medical equipment used. So if I would use a normal medkit, the DC would be 25. I'm using an advanced medkit, so it's only 20.
Right. No, sorry. I'm talking about aiding another. Oh, it's only DC 10. Forgive me.
sorry.
No, ignore me.
Yeah. No.
So
No,
then,
no.
if you're helping him, oh, you're taking the 10. So Mo, why don't you give me a medicine check, please, for Cat?
Okay.
Just a DC
Yeah, I
10.
can.
Oh, each of you guys gets a Nova point as well, too.
Oh, 10,
So-
exactly.
No, it's a nat 1.
All right.
Shit, so I have to roll. I don't
No,
take 10, I roll.
he does have a Nova point. Easy come, easy go. He could
Yeah.
be in and out. Mo, do you want to spend your Nova point to re-roll that?
No, I don't think so. I've only got the 1.
Make it harder for me, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
This plays into Tom the android's suspicion that Cat wants something bad to happen to him.
Ow, what are you doing?
I get the medkit out. I try to figure out with the treat the wound, and he comes and accidentally slices him. And I go.
Oh, no,
Good God. Okay, so
So I roll. Instead of taking 10, I roll medicine.
you gotta roll,
alright?
and I think because of the crit failure on it too, you're gonna take a -2.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Here we go. Nice. Nice.
Yeah. So at least he has his 3 hit points.
Yeah.
That's based on the level he is.
Okay.
You know?
There you go. So Tom's getting 3 hit points back, and then what about your bleed condition? How do you get rid of that?
I do medicine check as well
Yeah.
against what was that, 15 or
20. I think.
no?
To stop the bleeding?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
First aid, it's 15, so I can take 10 and it's automatically stopped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not particularly interesting to watch you face the slow trickling of your hit points.
Yeah, I try.
Oh no, Band-Aid's in the wrong place. Hold on. Oh, it's the wrong place again. Oh my God. This is
Just
truly
have
worthy
I just
of
have
Star
the
Wars.
Talladega Nights scene in my head where he puts a knife in his leg and then another knife there to get the knife out. You know?
Okay, so
Yeah.
Tom, yet again, it seems that Cat may be out to hurt you.
I know, I'm starting to get that, pushes me, then he sabotages, attempts to sabotage the medic.
Yeah, what I wanted to talk with you about, JT, do you make use of that lens gun you have there?
I'm just about out of ammo, so that's my backup in about 10 minutes.
All right. No, I just
Did you
thought
need
because
extra ammo?
it uses batteries, and I thought because I'm really old, like around 50, and I don't like to run that much, and it can shoot really far. So if you're not using it, yeah, think about me. All right.
It's a very
Okay.
sweet pistol.
I could give you the auto-target rifle I have with me.
I'm not skilled with rifles. I can only use. No, I am really good with small arms. you know.
Yeah, I left my sniper rifle back up top.
Yeah.
But I assume I was just carrying my normal loadout. So there's probably some spare ammo back on the truck. But I
Okay,
just
no,
had two
no
max
bother,
left.
no bother. Just asking.
Human rifles are always small arms.
That is worth a Nova point. That's a good one-liner.
Well, I could always adapt them for a vest to grip. Put it back on the ship.
Yeah.
So while we're staring at the so while we're here, can we investigate the corpse? Like, see what it is? Is it a machine? Is it organic? Is it undead?
Are there any parts we could salvage?
Well, I mean, like it. Let's take a look at the.
Do they have batteries in them actually?
Image here? So this is what they.
They run on batteries. Okay.
Preferably double A.
So this is what it looks like, right? I don't see any necrotic or biological components in there, and I imagine your character does not either. Those are all just advanced polymers and the typical stuff you would make, robots out of or drones out of in the time of the Pact Worlds. Mo, you got a good idea there. Kat, why don't you give me a engineering check, please?
Because we've got enough. Yeah, I just wondered if there's something we could actually.
Nat 20! Whoa! Jeez. You guys are really running the spectrum here today. You got Tom's, back-to-back ones, and most rocking the nat 20s. You guys have nothing else or proving the algorithm of Roll20. Okay, let's see here. I think that what you're going to be able to do is... Let me just take a look at the equipment here, guys. I think you will be able to salvage some batteries out of this thing. Let's see here. Come on, equipment, where are you?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether we're taking another... I could be doing that while we're having a 10-minute rest if Tom wanted to get his stamina back.
Yeah. Tom, you want to blow a resolve point and get your stamina back?
I would still like to do that. That'd be awesome. It helps me with my goal of staying alive.
It does. So that is another 10 minutes. You guys are half an hour down in this section. Would everyone kindly give me a fortitude save?
Speciality of mine. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that. Okay. Oh, Tom.
What, me?
That ain't good. Oh, Tom the android too. Yeah, good gall.
Yeah.
You guys are twins.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we did get that Nova
Nearly.
point.
Nearly twins.
You got a Nova point. Yep.
Okay. Maybe I will reuse my Nova point since I send to be the target for these guys anyway, and I'll probably need hit points. So let's try that. I'm only +1. Hey, I'm better.
Okay, there you go. All right. So first off, you are able to salvage 2 batteries out of each of these things.
So there were
there-
4 of them?
total?
So there was 4 in total, so 8 batteries in total. They were quite. I mean, they're old, so it's sort of like it's ancient. It's tech you're gonna have to kind of work around, but it'll function as effectively as a battery, as normal. With a nat 20, I kind of want to give you something else from that too, because that is a really good.
What were they attacking us with?
They're tentacles.
Okay, so it was just like bludgeoning.
Were you not listening to my?
No, I know, but it's like so they're like bladed
Impressive.
or...
You're like, fuck it, look at the numbers and I'll ignore Kev for the rest.
Yeah.
No, I thought, well, maybe they're bladed or something like that.
Could I hack into one of their sort of control units?
To what end? What are you thinking?
Well, I don't know if I could sort of like try and work out how many of them there are, or whether there's a way of going into the control. Actually, no, they'd presumably
you could get a map.
be autonomous, wouldn't they? So there wouldn't be like.
I like the
They're
idea
not
of
remote
getting
controlled.
information, but remember, it's an engineering role, so I could tell you about the physical mechanics of it. It's not a computer's role, so I couldn't necessarily tell you about the software connection if there is a software connection.
Well, I'll see if there.
I'm sorry.
I'll see if there's some sort of.
Oh, you don't need to roll
controller.
again. Like, you rolled a nat 20 before, so what instead of giving you some more like stuff you salvage, you know what I'll tell you, Mo, is that the inside of each of these things has been refurbished. Like, you can tell you're not familiar with this kind of this brand of drone, but there seems to be some very unusual redesigns that have been done, and you can just tell like the stuff near the kind of like droid brain that's been reworked is definitely not the same work or same mechanics that are used in the rest of the drone. And in fact, you know what, you might want to get one of your, it seems there's something unusual about this too. Like, you've encountered hybrid technology before. Maybe one of your allies who is more of the mystical bent, they may be able to have some insight into this.
So I assume I've got the top open, and I'll say, well, Tom, isn't it, that does mystics, isn't it?
Yeah, Zakros or Tom.
And Zakros.
Yeah.
Zakros will assist you, or Tom will assist Zakros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll point out, well, this bit looks like it's been added after the fact.
So
and it
further
looks...
to our talk about aids, guys, I mean, this is something I'm seeing in a lot of our sessions, is a constant, I'm going to aid. What I want is, I like the idea of having all the characters involved, but what I want is for you to give me an explanation in fiction of specifically what's going on in order to get that bonus. So if you can describe for us what's going on between the two characters that will give you the door open to that aid. So we're not just constantly just saying, well, I'll roll aid.
Okay, well, I've got the top off, and I'll point out the weird bits to everyone.
Sure.
And saying, this doesn't look like strict cyber. This looks like it's got some sort of a magical or...
Okay.
What's the term? A hybrid sort of like alterations.
Sure.
And
so
I'll take some photographs of it for later as well.
Yep.
So I'll ask them what they think. So effectively, I've got it open and I'm pointing at the weird bits.
So, Tom the android, what do we see? Like, what's sort of the thing that's happening in the story here that will let you get the aid roll here?
I reached its brain and touch it with my ability to connect with computers and just feel it out, see what it. Does it, feel awe, or like just sort of what do I feel?
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so give me a mysticism check, please. Nice. Okay, so then Zakros, you then get +2 from some insight that Tom the android may be able to offer you here. Let's see.
Okay, I try to remember stuff.
Okay.
From my religion, and maybe I can find parallel stuff. I don't know. Just
okay. Nice, 26.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two things that you guys. I think that you, because you rolled so well, Zakros, and because you're so bent towards, a bent towards the cybernetics. This actually looks more like a really kind of unusual bit of I mean, it's an old design, but it's a bit of like, basically it allows you to share like haptic interface, I guess, with other people. So it's a way of connecting that's the technical kind of component for this. It's if you wanted to appreciate like the physical sensations, pleasurable or otherwise, that something was having, that would be a way of sort of like replaying it in someone else and also augmenting or changing it. And building on what you had learned before, this is absolutely the kind of thing you've seen in some, or heard rumored of, in some of the darkest parts of the, of the seediest places you've frequented, where some Veltstrak worshipping beings will like set up a link like this, a haptic kind of link, and then perform surgery on another person with that, and then have the agony of that fed back through everyone. There's like one time when you heard some guy talking about it, and he, this is at some dive bar in the lowest depths of Absalon Station, and this guy looked shaken to the core. This is like at the end of a long, long night of drinking, and you guys were kind of talking about like, fuck, well, you wouldn't believe what I saw here, la la la.
So, could I use my mystic powers against these creatures to affect the controlling component?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, certainly, Tom, you rolled well enough, so I think you've got you're still like nervous about going too far in, but maybe using Tom the android as a conduit, that might be a way of, of kind of bridging the network, as it were. And both of you guys are capable of telepathic contact, right?
Yeah.
So maybe if you formed a telepathic link with each other, that might be a way of doing that. Because your minds would be touching, and then Tom the android could use his ability to reach through and try and like overload. Is that what you're trying to do? Is like overload the network kind of thing, or?
Yeah, just to these creatures are controlled then by some being, and this
Well, we
being,
weren't sure. I think it's just that someone can feel what they feel.
Yeah, but my spells are only affected by living creatures. Yeah, feeling creatures. So if I use like what is the spell called? Fear, Mind Trust, for example. Yeah, could I affect that person on the other end?
Yeah. So, I think you might be able to, yeah. Like, if the challenge will be is that Tom the android may take, if he's the conduit for that, he may take some, it'd be passing a lot of spiritual energy through him as well. So let's talk about a little about Zakros's role as a priest as well too. You said that his ministrations were to the folks living in the seedier quarters of or seedier parts of the of Absalon Station.
Yeah.
So maybe Kat probably says out loud, well, this would be a connection, right? Like, we don't know that it's someone linked connected to this. And Zacharias, you think, no, the marking that they've put in here, this thing they've put in here, this would be something you would put in that kind of congregation of pain, the Church of Agony or the Abbey of Nevers. So imagine yourself in the shoes of the head of a congregation who suddenly found him or herself or their self without a congregation. What might you do?
First, I have to translate the definition of what is it?
So
what
a
is the
congregation it's the body of a church. It's the people who are part of a church. Sorry. The congregation are the people who attend church, who are the people who go to you for spiritual guidance and whatever else. So if the members of the church, if you don't have any of them left, maybe you would craft your own. So even though these things, they've got the markings that would connect the members of the church together in this Church of Agony, even if these things could not feel or whatever else, that might be the way that you recreate your congregation. Even though all you're really doing is echoing your own symptoms, your own sensations throughout your entire church. Does that make sense?
It's difficult.
Okay, so let me try again. So what I'm getting at, I guess, and what I think Zakros knows, imagine that you are the priest and you've got people who are part of your church. the people who are part of your church for this religion, you know, from that crazy wild-eyed guy you met in the bowels of Absalon Station. He told you that what they would do is all have these implants, and then they would have surgery on each other. So each would feel that experience and have this, you know, they felt it brought them closer to their divine, and it would feed it back over everybody. Now imagine that you're a priest, crash on a planet, you're the only one alive. You have to recreate a priest is nothing without their congregation, without their members of the church, without their fellow devotees. This may be some twisted way of trying to recreate his members of his church.
Which is why he wants to get and torture me, so he can make me share my pain.
So if we try and feed back through this, we'd actually be giving him what
Once.
he, she, it wants. So I think actually if we did that, we might actually be hindering rather than helping us. So
maybe.
But I mean, if this is his congregation, we're whittling them down. So I think we just continue as we are.
So
Can we send
game-wise,
something through it instead of letting stuff? So if he's trying to create pain, could we send like happiness back at him and like screw him up?
Yeah, have I got any pictures of kittens on mine?
Yeah, like like some kind of. I mean, I'll look at Zakros. You're the priest.
Or alternatively, we send pictures of
Can we send that picture through?
we send pictures of Brunei children playing classic otter folk.
yeah.
Something that will hinder him. Like if his church is about pain, can we, what would be horrific for him? I guess would be something pleasant.
I just wanted to ask if anyone out of the group can give me happy thoughts, like memories, but I don't think JT can do that as a dark elf. I can't really, because I was growing up in the gutters in Absalom Station. I don't know if Ingolf has any happy memories there in his...
Yeah, I as a person, surely, but even Buldan...
sorry, Buldan, sorry. Yeah.
So I think you could... He was just visiting this Zipzop performance. You remember last...
Yeah.
Oh my God, send him
I have a thought here. We've got some of that sedative we found. Could we, presumably this is like hybrid biological cyber tech, could we effectively inject that in and try and feed that back into them?
I love the idea that the resolution of this adventure is going to be, let's get the captain high and make him watch stupid shit. This is genius.
Just if I can make a connection to his brain and he can send me all these happy thoughts about Zipzop and he feels really good, and I have this power to transfer 10 minutes of conversation in a short amount of time.
And then you'll put that to Tom the android, and Tom, you'll juice that through the network. And I guess Kat, what you could help with is the technical end of this, right? Because you could be wiring this shit up. Okay, so let's think about how to handle this then. I fucking love this, by the way. I love role-playing games so much!
Yeah, I'd also get a vial of the sedative ready. If it looks like it's going wrong, I'll try and jack that in.
Okay. You know what, I mean, if you've got a sedative that has a euphoric effect, genuinely, that probably would. Like, I'm joking about getting him high, but, like, that probably would help.
Well, we did find 5
5
doses of tier 1 sedative.
Yeah.
So anesthetic is what's analgesia when it's at home.
So it's a painkiller, but I mean, it could. Yeah. I'm fine with saying that it's a
painkiller. Yeah, if they like pain, jack them up on, cut their pain down.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
I'll keep that as a secondary option. So
Does that mean we have to catch a functioning specimen of this servitor?
No, you guys could. You got all those batteries. You could easily. You didn't damage it. Yeah, there's one amongst them that you.
Out of the 4, there's some that weren't.
This
I think the one I shot straight through the head.
All this stuff is building on that crit hit that Cat got on his engineering check. So he sort of stumbled across and like, holy shit, Okay, so what do we see happening in to get yourselves ready here, guys? I mean, Voldan's, sits himself down, gets the hollow display of Zip-Zop's very slow close-up magic again. So you're sitting in this like ancient crashed haunted vessel, and Voldan, the biggest and toughest among you guys, is sitting down and giggling like an idiot, watching this very slow. I still haven't loaded the image of Zip-Zop, but let me quickly hold up the image of the amazing Zip-Zop. Okay, where is he? Oh, there he is. So, for those listening at home, I hope this shows up here. Oopsie, that's my phone. Gallery, there we go. That is...
Amazing.
See here. The amazing Zip-Zop. So you can't quite see with his fake mustache. But, so this display is in front of Voldan. Where is Voldan's mind going here? What's happening?
Yeah, well, it's just astounding. It's, again and again, I can watch it.
Okay, and then Zakros, what do you do to connect to bridge into Voldan's mind, and how does that wave of positive energy affect you when you feel just this pure, unadulterated joy that Voldan feels when watching?
Yeah, I prepare myself for the absolute happiness at the moment. All right, and I'm really looking forward. Zakros is really looking forward to it as well, because he's kind of afraid already. Yeah, so that will help him too. And so he establishes a link, and with all the others too, and they send over their happy memories, and then he starts his mind link with over Tom through the mystic device in that servitor head, and we send all the happy thoughts over to that creature.
So we see Voldan's on the ground, kind of giggling, and watching this stuff, and kind of, wow, no, yeah,
amazing slow-mo card tricks.
Yes. And as soon as Zakros touches his head to form the bridge, he starts kind of laughing and chuckling as well too, in that that deep and boisterous, kind of Dolph Lundgren laugh. And then you reach over and connect to Tom the android. Tom the android, what happens when you are now part of this pure roller coaster of joy?
So Tom is sort of looking at this. He's kind of comfortable, but he's laid back. As say, my role in this is I'm a glorified living cable. I'm taking a signal in from one end, sending it through. He's like, whatever. Lights a cigarette, and just he's got his hand on one side, other hand on Zakros, and then as this goes through, he goes from sort of like just sort of blank face to smile starts curling at the edge of his mouth. Couple giggles. Then a big grin, then the cigarette falls out of his mouth as he just starts laughing. Which is awesome, because he did not find that, he didn't understand why everyone thought this comedian was, or like Voldan thought it was funny in the first place, but now he gets it because he's got Voldan's memories going through. So for the first time, this is now funny to him.
Yeah. That's awesome. So
Zip-Zop is now funny
Kat,
to
you're there, and your three colleagues, like, they're all giggling or chuckling like a bunch of idiots. Kat, what are you doing here to help kind of set things up?
He's imagining back to when he was on Absalom with his crew, and he's remembering a time when he was walking with his then partner.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure whether that would does that. Oh,
did we lose Mo?
Yeah, sorry about that. Can you still hear my voice?
I can still hear you.
Yeah. I tried to share the picture, so while it's reloading, he's remembering walking arm in arm with his girlfriend at the time. They're walking into what appears to be a overgrown part of Absalom Station.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to be an Art Deco cinema, which is where their main hangout was.
Yeah.
And he's walking with her, and you can see some of his friends. One of them's diving off the board, and you can feel very happy. They're just going to set up a big run. So it's just basically a happy time when he was at Absalom Station with his original crew. That in his backstory, that all went horribly wrong, which is why he ended up joining the crew.
That's awesome.
Right.
So maybe it's like
now.
the wave of like positive psychic energy is sort of washing over you and allowing you to focus only on the positive, you know, and the best parts of that memory rather than the consequences that came afterwards. Jeez, is Cat crying?
Possibly. He's wearing sunglasses, so you can't see.
Yeah. Okay. So
but
then
we can feel it. We
Yeah.
can feel the happiness and the what is it? Happy sadness? What is it? That emotion that make happy tears.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So, why don't we do this? Let's have now I guess so you what is the physical connection? You're thinking about this stuff, it's just hitting you. What's the sort of physical connection? Are there like leads you run from your hacking unit to help Tom, you know, channel this kind of power?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I assume I've opened it up and there's some better places where he can effectively put his hands.
Yeah.
And I assume I'll hold his other hand to make the link.
Okay. So Tom, the android, are you ready?
All right. Give her.
Okay, so you put your hand into this thing, and there's this wave of let me shift this here. I think this is this wave of pain that crashes down on you, and you've got you know, you're currently, you said you were sort of laughing. I think now you are caught in a roiling mix of laughing, of screaming in pain, and moaning in ecstasy as this wave hits you. And you don't really see so much as feel a connection that looks like this. This is a massive presence in your mind now. And you can hear the voice screaming at you. And this thing is writhing and twisting in your mind as well, too. Clearly as uncomfortable with this mix of emotions as what you are feeling as well. And at this moment, guys, you're all sort of, you know, sharing this moment. Volden, albeit you a little, you know, drunkenly, and I think that because of the initial hit, Kat, the sort of connection spills out and pulls you into it as well, too. So you're not really there, you're not really seeing it, but you can, it's as real and present as anything could be. This thing towers over you guys. Stop! Stop! What happens next?
Yeah, Zakros sees the light. He can actually harm this creature, so he is totally confident. Yeah, he's even more determined right now.
Okay.
And channels even more positive energy.
So there's even more. There's a bunch of bizarre little versions of Zip Zop that are around him now. And Tom the android, what about you?
I maintain the connection. Try and, to my best I can, I try to let the positive stuff go through. And if there's any way of trying to brace against the negative impact feeding further down the conduit, I'll try to shield Zakros from it.
Yeah, can you not build a negative a firewall that keeps negative energy away?
The mystical firewall. I'll work on it.
Yeah.
So this thing's waving
You are the
back and
technomancer,
forth,
are you?
and it's screaming out, "The pain! Pain!"
No pain. No pain.
Mo,
Just joy.
there's something that you recognize in this. in the moment of joy that's washing over you guys, the joy is buffeting this thing. But Mo, you, for a moment, because of this intimate connection across your minds, because of this wash of all these different emotions, there's the pain, like the body pain that that haptic sort of feedback is designed to deal with and whatnot, because of the connection, you guys know that that's what they worship and they venerate. But there's a different pain in this thing. And it's a pain that you recognize. It's a pain of loss. And in this swirl of emotion and anger and ecstasy and whatnot too, where the physical pain is connected to the joy, it seems to come back and forth between the others. There's a deep and dark well and pull of loss and loneliness. That's the pain that you recognize, and that's the pain that is causing this thing to scream and writhe. You are the one who recognizes this. What do you say?
So it's getting off on my feelings of loss.
No, it's actually not. The other pain, the physical pain, that is the stuff that is causing it to celebrate, to venerate, or whatnot. The pain that it's screaming about is the pain caused by the loss of joy, by the loss of comradeship. The same loss that you just described.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll start remembering more times like that. There's the crew. I haven't written up more yet, but basically there's a large crew of obviously the crew who used to run me the Absalon Station. We're around what appears to be a partially disused building that's been done up. There's a sort of a big old-fashioned table. It's loaded with food. We're all drinking and enjoying each other's company. It's a bit like the mess room in Firefly.
Yeah.
They've got that funky old table. And you can see they're toasting each other. There's a halfling that stands up on a high chair to reach the table, and sort of she's toasting to friends. And I'm remembering looking across at his partner and just sort of feeling content just to be in their presence.
So you guys can all see this now too. You're having the same intimate view, and it has the same intimate connection that it does to Kat, so that you're feeling the full emotional weight of this. And what you're seeing as well, the faces begin to flicker. And in place of the halfling and the other bits of the crew, you now see Verthians. An entire crew of Verthians. And it's not just pain-worshipping crazies and whatnot, it's stolen moments. And now, Kat, you're feeling it shift to some place you've never been. None of you guys have been. People you've never seen, but the weight of the emotional connection that you had with your own memories, Kat, you're having with them too. And as this thing is writhing, there's that same flickering that you saw in the image. And it's switching back and forth between him, the Verthian who was leaving the message, and this creature. What do you do? Everyone is part of this psychic connection as well too. You guys can feel free to add things in.
So Vuldan is still watching this video.
Can I try and talk or mentally project to the Verthian rather than that?
You could try, yeah.
Basically I'll try and sort of mentally communicate. Did your ship crash?
So what we see now is the scene changes. You're standing alone. We'll use the frame reference from the Firefly, common room. You are standing there alone, and there's this massive creature that's towering over you, its eyes blazing. What do you say?
What happened to you? Why have you changed? What did you lose?
Pain! Ecstasy and pain! Full devotion! More! Pain is good! Pain! Pain is unbearable! And it flashes. And there's a Verthian standing before you. Completely stone face, no expressions, big black eyes. If you were to guess, it's the same person in the image who left the message.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say next?
Who are you? What happened to you? What's...
He looks and he just says,
Who did you lose?
everyone. They all left. They all passed on. Without them, we have nothing to share. And he looks up, and all of you are now standing there on the deck as well. He says, we can share. He looks at you pleadingly, Tom the android. Join. We can share such wonderful pain. We can leave this unbearable pain behind.
I have no pain to share, but I can share happiness, and then I'll try and channel more of like what's going on and send it back to him. Let go of the pain.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect
You
it.
have to-
The eyes begin to well up and tears are beginning to come down and matching what Kat was going through before. Tom, Zacharias, go ahead.
No, I just want. He is mourning his loss, yeah. But I try to tell him that he has to pass away too, to let go. Yeah, he has to go away too. He just has to, yeah, free himself from this and just let go.
He looks and he says, the Velstrak offer nothing. In the after, there is only the now. There is nothing in the after for them.
Can you convert him at the last minute?
Yes, I would suppose so. Tell him about Pharasma.
Oh yeah. Oh god. I can't roleplay this out now.
So when we say this, there are things that I think you guys can all feel this from Zachros, but am I correct in thinking that Zachros is more of a evangelical member by doing, not by saying? He doesn't make sermons and preaches and stuff like that. He does.
Yeah.
So what does he do? This thing seems to not understand what Pharasma's role, because whether he believes in Pharasma or not, that is her domain. So without saying anything, Zachros walks forward. Put your hands out. And what do you say? Well, just a simple one sentence to him. What do you say?
It's really difficult now. I don't know what Zachros would say in this moment, because
Maybe
what
he says
does
nothing.
is-
You know, if you don't know anything on there, he could say nothing, and just there's an expression on his face. And he looks down.
Hang on. I just want to. Maybe I give him the picture of Pharasma, what she has to offer.
Okay.
To him, so he can accept it or not. But
Okay.
there is balance. There is balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Serenity.
So he
Yeah.
kind of, you know, his black eyes look down at the ground, look up at you, and his face again switches back to your former crew, JT. And you can see your former lover look back at you. For spares you will look for them a moment, and you could swear it was her. and her hands join with Zakros's, and you see I think there is a mist that sort of comes in, shrouding all of you. And then the next thing you hear is the reptilian chuckling of your stalwart captain. And you guys all stagger back, and you're, you know, it's that lovely kind of hangover where you're feeling dopey, had an amazing time the last night. You're not really feeling any physical pain. You're just feeling like that you had really been through something. But Voldan is still focused solely on the amazing Zipzop. And what you can tell Zakros is that the God of Graves has welcomed another. So, after that, you find that this place is much more welcoming. There's no sound of rattling chains. You maybe stumble across 2 or 3 more of those disabled drones, non-functioning anymore. And as you're making your way out, you find in the med bay there is the fairly preserved body of a Verthian. And it has had the weight of centuries on it. So it's you're unable to tell whether this is the one that you saw, but it is the only one left. And it appears to be effectively some kind of stasis pod that is still functioning. But the life signs are gone.
The life signs are gone. Yeah. Maybe then it's time to perform the funeral rites.
Okay.
I can assist. That was very profound. So if there's anything you need,
Keep digging, my friend.
While they're discussing that, and I shall check out the med bay for any more supplies.
Sure. What I'm going to do is
I would like to, I suggest that since we're on such a pristine archaeological find, that we spend some time here and before we leave to.
You guys are. You may have forgotten. You just fled. Ebbetsburn. You've left your thing unattended up there.
We got the Mad Max biker gang after us.
Yeah,
and
Okashug may be sending people after you, and there's also you've heard that there are Shobhads in this thing, so there is going to be some more stuff that you guys will find, and I'll send it to you in the Discord for what gear you got. But I think what we'll do is whatever. Then the next scene we see is, somewhere in the dune, you see this sand starts going down, and then we see. Voldan throws open this hatch, and there's the bright light of... Actually, it'll be nighttime now. So the thing goes open, and the darkened skies of nighttime on Akiton are there. You all step out. It's evening now, so it's quite cool. Your breath is forming, and as the last of you is pulled out, Zakros will say it's you that closes this thing down and seals the hatch. As it were, closing a tomb of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the fun?
And because at this moment we all were very close, and we have given more information about each other to the other than we actually wanted. So whatever happened on Akiton stays.
Excellent. So with that, we see you guys. Someone, I think Cat kind of pulls up a nav system, and he's like, "It's about this way." And you guys start walking your way through under the, I think there's 2 moons on Akiton. Under the 2 moons in an empty, cloudless sky. You guys making your way over towards there, and the only thing we hear is the odd kind of chuckling of Voldan.
Yeah,
as he's thinking about.
let me top this one more.
Sure.
I think so. For reasons no one can understand, he has. So one of the things he was looking at, Zip Zop doing some card tricks, and he has an ace of spades in his hand.
Nice.
Uh,
Excellent. So, with that, we will call this one a session. So, and I have
I
some.
was going to say we were actually looking for parts for the truck, so I assume
You're able to cycle.
sort of
You're able to
handled
cycle back
that
through.
as
Yeah,
well.
the gear you found in the first part there, you've been able to recover that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like you in the course of what's happened under there, you've sort of worked out a map. It's otherwise just it's navigating an old ship, and that's where Tom the android, you had an opportunity to really shine here, because it's you navigating through all this, ruined wreck, trying to find your way back to where you were, based on schematics you could dig out from a computer somewhere. We're just not going to go through all that stuff on camera. So I will send you what your selections are what loot you find in there too. But you do recover that stuff as well. But you guys are going to have to send me something as well. That is your choices for level 4.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
So, with that, we're going to call it a session, guys. So, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for this very special Halloween session of our ongoing Pathfinder campaign. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session or the game or anything like that, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. If you want to tell the players how awesome their role-playing was in the dream sequence, you can definitely leave it there, and I will be sure to pass that along to the players. In addition, you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can shoot me an email at dungeonmusings@gmail.com. And you can find me and most of these fine folks on the Dungeon Musings Discord server too, which you can find a link to in the description of this video. In addition, you'll find a link in the description of the video to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. We don't monetize the channel, we don't run ads, we don't run a Patreon. If you are inclined to toss some UPBs or Pact Worlds credits in the direction of the channel, I'd encourage you to click through that and learn a little more about SOS Children's Villages International, the charity that benefits from the donations. Any donations made go directly to help them in their activities, which is in over 130 different countries to help out over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children to have an actual childhood. And in light of recent geopolitical events, it seems like that's going to be needed more now than ever. So it's a really terrific organization that does some very, very great work for some very unfortunate kids, or kids who find themselves in unfortunate circumstances, at least. Any money donated goes directly to the organization. It doesn't go to the channel, doesn't go to a middleman. It all goes to help them do the very good work that they do. Of course, I don't want anyone to feel obliged, but if you are inclined to toss any financial support in the direction of the channel, that's the direction I would encourage you to consider, is donating to SOS Children's Villages International. We are now in October as well, too, and in January, the one of the rewards, which is charity sessions, myself, and we've got some other guest DMs who are going to be volunteering as well. You can donate to get a session. It's a 4-hour session. You can pick the game, you can pick the players, and then we will play a session with you. I will, either myself or one of the guest DMs that we have lined up for next year. But I also want to thank my players. So Brent, and Ingolf, and Thomas, and Morris, thank you so much for such a very, very cool session today, guys. I did not expect it to end that way, but I'm so glad it did. That was amazing. Cool.
Thank you.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was awesome. That was very different. You did an awesome job. I'm assuming that wasn't planned, so that was really fantastic. Rolling with that and role playing through that, and
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
The what do you call it? It makes it easy when you got such fucking terrific players. So, guys, awesome job of highlighting some really special stuff about your characters. I look forward to working more with that stuff in future. So,
Well, I was actually doing the backstory, and that scene was part of the backstory, which I really must write it up properly and send it to you.
well, it's the thing is, I am very, very much of the show don't tell kind of mood. I mean, this is also said as someone who does a lot of exposition, but I prefer to see, like, if you've got story elements, if you've got character bits and whatnot too, it's much more interesting to see that in play, right? See that come out in play than it is. And also, I mean, like, I don't really have the time to read through extensive backstories from every character, so it's easier for me to just focus on the stuff that we're seeing rather than the stuff that we, you know, that we're reading about. So, anyway, oh, well, that said, Mo, there is a channel on the Discord server that is specifically for character backstories.
Yeah, I was going to put it on there.
Oh, perfect.
But I mean,
yeah.
I quite often tend to do backstories for myself as well.
Yeah.
Just so I know where the character's coming from.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so then until next time. So for those listening at home, again, thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you back on Akiton, off in hunt of... Now, what's going to be better, guys? Is it going to be better dealing with a pain-worshipping or a pain demon-worshipping ghost, or going after a bunch of 12-foot-tall, angry savages? It may be out of the frying pan into the fire, as they say on Akiton. So... Anyway, for those listening at home, again, thank you so much for joining us, and until next time, happy gaming!